Hello and Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Kashif Kamran with the Strategic Business Leader September 2023 exams just under a month away, and the release of the pre-seen case for the September 23 exams is just 10 days away from now. I welcome you all to All You Need to Know About the Pre-seen Case session. This session will give you guidance about everything you should know about the pre-seen case, and you should have clarity on that ahead of the release of the pre-seen case. Today is the 12th of August when I'm conducting this session, and the expected timeline of the release of the pre-seen case by ACCCA is 22nd of August. So let's open this session and let's see all you need to know about the pre-seen case ahead of your September 23 exams. First of all, before I show you the guidance by ACCA on the webpage, let's first discuss quickly about the format of the pre-seen. There will be two parts of the pre-seen information once it is published by ACCA, and you can already see this pre-seen information in the context of the specimen exam and the mock exam published by ACCA for your guidance, and I will be coming to that shortly. But once you get hold of the pre-seen information, it will be in two parts. That is the industry information and the information relating to the organization. The industry information, ACCA will continue to base the case study exam on an industry or a sector of the economy. Student needs to familiarize themselves with the information provided in the pre-seen, even if they are already familiar with the industry. So you need to go through the industry information which ACCA has provided you within the case study, even you are familiar with that industry. This is because for the purpose of the SBL exam, certain facts about the industry may be simplified so everyone understand that on the day of exam. The organization information, the second part of it. The organization in the pre-seen is a fictitious and will not represent a real organization. The pre-seen will contain information such as when, where, and how the organization was formed, its products and services, processes, suppliers, customers, its ownership and governance, selected financial data about the organization, the future outlook of the organization, risk and challenges, developments and strategies, etc. The specific information provided will vary from one exam to another. Now, this is just a wide range of examples what sort of information about an organization will be contained in. So once you get hold of the pre-seen case, or you are doing practice of the already available pre-seen cases in form of specimen exams and mock exams, you will see there are two parts to it, one being the industry information and one being the organization specific information. And that's what the structure is. Now, what ACCA expects from you when you get hold of a pre-seen case, the real one for the September exam, and already the specimen versions available and the mock version available for your practice. Using the pre-seen as a student, students should read the pre-seen to fully understand the activities of the industry and the organization. Student will need to spend time familiarizing themselves with the industry terms, the terms used in the case study. If you found any term difficult, you can still search for the meaning of that term, so you are well equipped with the meaning of the term. Now, it was very difficult at times in the SBL exam that you are reading the case as a whole in the exam paper up to June 23 when there was no pre-seen concept, and you come across a difficult term in exam under 4 hours, and you don't understand the meaning of the terminology. Now, for the September 23 exam, and there is a pre-seen case available to you, and you're going through the pre-seen and you find some difficult terminology, You can just get hold of the meaning and you can just check the synonyms of that terminology just to become familiarized. What does this mean? This will definitely be helping you in linking the pre-seen with your answer or better understanding what the examiner is trying to say. So familiarizing yourself with the terms and activities, including the products and services the industry provides, its types of customers, suppliers, developments, and risks. So getting hold of the risk your organization is facing, the stakeholder the organization have, what sort of power and interest the stakeholders are having, etc. Students may do some research to better understand the terminologies and activities of the industry. So if you find some terminologies difficult, you can do research of that on Google and the activities of the industry. But again, it's not like a research which is very broad-based and distracting you from the real purpose of SBL. Ahead of your exams, the real purpose is to spend time on practicing of the past paper rather than you do a broad research on the pre-seen, which is just distracting you. And that is not what ACCA is suggesting you to do here, right? So some research, right, around difficult terminologies or some difficult activities, and you just want to get a better overview of that, you can just go down on the Google and research it. But again, should not take much time. However, there is no expectation that student undertake further research. Look at the point 3 and 4 carefully. ACCA was saying in the point number 3, some research. And in the point 4, realizing the fact that the student might go down on Google and waste hours and hours on that, they're saying no expectation that the student take further research. So it's just a research around something you find difficult in the case study. And definitely, if you're enrolled in a course, your tutor will also be doing a debrief with you in a live session. So you will get an extra benefit of anything you found difficult in the case study. It is important to emphasize that the SBL exam is based on a fictitious organization, and the exam task will relate to this organization specifically and not to any journal research that student may undertake themselves. So it is a fictitious organization. The case is fictitious. It's just a case study. It's just a story developed by the examining team. They want you to indulge in that case, want to understand that case so that you can answer the requirements which you will see in the real exam, rather than you're just going onto the Google, broadening your research, assuming that fictitious organization as a real organization, and just spoiling your exam timeline where you should have spent more time on practicing of the past paper. Lastly, students should ensure that they are very familiar with the content of the pre-seen prior to the exam session. They should know where to find information within the pre-seen, since this will save time in the exam. Now, if you have gone through the pre-seen well, you have absorbed the pre-seen well, and you entered the real exam. So in the real exam, even though a pre-seen exhibit will be available in the real exam, that if you forget something, you can go back and see from the pre-seen. But if you're going back to pre-seen multiple times in the real exam, that's again wasting your time, because the pre-seen was given to you to absorb it and not just to rote learn it, but to remember the main points and exactly know that, for example, you forget something in the real exam and you want to refer back to the pre-seen. So you exactly know where that information is in the pre-seen rather than you reading the whole pre-seen again. So if you forget some financial data, so you know, okay, exactly where is the financial data in the pre-seen, and you just directly go to that particular information and come back to your real exam. But if you start reading the whole pre-seen again in the real exam, that's not what ACCA wants you to do, right? So be very careful that you're absorbing the pre-seen well. You know what information is given in the pre-seen and where. So even if in the real exam you want to refer back to the pre-seen, you can just save time on that. So these are 6 good things on your screen which ACCA has published for the students. How would you go about using this pre-seen? You should apply this 6 not just on the real pre-seen, which will be available on the 22nd of August 2023 for the September 23 exams, but also on the mock pre-seen and the specimen pre-seens, which are already there on the ACCA portal. And I'll just be showing you a glimpse of that shortly. What to avoid when you're looking into the pre-seen. Now, this is very, very important because ACCA has read the mindset of the students very well, that they might do something wrong with the pre-seen as well. So they have published a list of what you should not be doing when you're going with the pre-seen. Number one, avoid extensive additional research into industry. And ACCA was very clear on that, that some research can be undertaken around the terminologies used in the case study, but not going down into additional research into the industry. You're not writing any research report here, but you're just preparing yourself to better understand the case study. So the more time you put on research, you're again distracting yourself from practicing the past papers. Avoid speculating on areas of the syllabus that will be examined based on a pre-seen. So you might see in the pre-seen something about risk or something about governance, and you start speculating that what sort of a question can come on risk or what sort of a question can come on governance. Yes, you can identify the syllabus areas in the pre-seen, but from that particular syllabus areas, identifying the type of question which can come in, again, that's something you or the tutor should not be doing it. Yes, but identifying the sections of the syllabus which have been covered in the pre-seen, that's perfectly fine, because obviously you might find information about risk, governance, you might find information about strategy, you might find some information about technology, use of technology, so you can easily pinpoint the syllabus areas. But within those syllabus areas, pinpointing the exact question or the type of question which might comes in from that particular syllabus area would be wrong. Avoid using pre-seen as the main source of material for answering the requirement. The exhibit provided on the exam day must be used. It's not just the pre-seen will help you solve the answer on the day of exam. No, you will have some more exhibits in the real exam, 3 hours and 15 minutes, and you need to read those particular exhibits as well, plus the information from the pre-seen to answer the requirement. So if you believe that just the pre-seen will help you solve the answer, no, you will have certain more exhibits in the real exams. And we know in the real exams, the number of exhibits will now go down, considering a lot of information will be released as part of pre-seen. So your reading in the real exam will go down. The reading of exhibits will go down in the real exams, and that will save a lot of time. So please be very careful about number 3. Number 4, avoid reading the pre-seen for the first time just before the exam session. So try to plan reading the pre-seen. It will be released on 22nd of August, the real one. So from 22nd of August, I think your paper is on 6th of September. So you need to start reading it over these 14 days, but it's not like you're reading it every day. Or you are just reading the pre-seen and you're not doing anything else. That would also be wrong, because you need to spend time on revising your SBL, on doing the past papers as well. But keep some time every day that you keep revising the pre-seen, and there will be a tutor debrief as well. I will be doing the debrief with my students as well, at least 7 days post release of the debrief, so student can spend 1 week on their own, and after a week time I can do a debrief with them to better guide them and better facilitate them on how they should remember the information from the debrief ahead of their real exam. So if you just say, okay, a day before the real exam I do the pre-seen, that would be very wrong. So you should start to plan the pre-seen from the 22nd of August when it is actually released. Avoid spending too much time on the pre-seen at the expense of revising areas. That is exactly what I was telling you in the last point number 4, that it's not about that from 22nd of August to the 6th of September, you're just doing the pre-seen, right? You need to revise the syllabus. You need to revise your key concepts. You need to do practice of the past papers. You need to do the mock exam as well. So you need to keep time for all this. And just 1 hour a day on pre-seen, just revising pre-seen and 1 hour a day, I think it's sufficient, because within 1 hour, you read the whole case study, right? And then the next day, you can spend another 1 hour just revising it, refining it. Each day, the pre-seen will get refined down, will get shortened down for you, and you will start remembering the critical aspects of the pre-seen. So every day, if you spend 1 hour, by the 7th day, you might have the pre-seen on your case study. You might even you might start even recalling it, and you need not to go back to the pre-seen case study. So 1 hour a day, I think, is perfectly fine for the pre-seen over the stretch of 14 days you have. Avoid question tipping. Again, that was point number 2. Avoid speculating. Don't identify exact, okay, this question will come in, this question will come on risk. Yes, you can identify that there is a section on risk in the pre-seen. So a question on risk is possible, but what sort of a question is possible? Don't tip that off. Okay, now ACCA has guided you well on how to use the pre-seen and what to avoid. Pre-seen will be released on 22nd of August for the real September 23 exams, but already the pre-seens are available for mock and the specimen exams, which you can use them ahead of 22nd of August. Just to make your mindset very clear, how would you be using the pre-seen? Now, when it will be available, I've already given you the date, and how will you be accessing it? Let's go down to the SBL website and check what information ACC has given about its availability and how would you be able to access it as a student. Okay, now you can see this SBL web page, and right on this SBL web page where information about SBL is available, you scroll down this page and you reach a point where ACC has given you information about SBL Pre-seen material. So I'll click here, SBL Pre-seen material, and a new page will open in front of me, which says SBL Pre-seen materials. And all information you want to know about SBL Pre-seen material is here. And you go down and it tells you right over here. It tells you that the SBL pre-seen information will be available 2 weeks before the date of the SBL exam. For the September 23 exams, the pre-seen information will be available on the 22nd August. So I'm conducting this session on the 12th of August today, so that means 10 days after. How do I access the pre-seen? That's the next question. And ACCA gives clarity on that. To access information from 22nd of August, please follow these instructions. Go to the exam planner, click on your SBL, click on your SBL booked exam details within your plan. So go to your exam planner, click on SBL booked within your plan, click on download link for the pre-seen information. So again, recall the steps. Go to your exam planner, click on the SBL exam you've booked in your plan, and you will see a download link for the pre-seen case information. SBL pre-seen information must be downloaded from the exam planner. Do not access this document from any other source. Just to ensure the reliability and authenticity, just go and download it from your exam planner as guided by ACCA. So it will be released on 22nd, and how will you be able to access it? I hope you're all loud and clear on this. So this is something important you should have in mind, when it will be available and how will you be able to access it. So on 22nd, you will be accessing the real pre-seen for your September 23 exams. Resources by ACC on pre-seen already available. You're sitting on the 12th of August today. So over the next 10 days, if you're finished off your syllabus, what should you do? Do you have any other materials on pre-seens you can take as an additional support on pre-seens ahead of the 22nd August pre-seen releasing? Let's see, is there some guidance on that? So ACCA has already put some resources on pre-seens, which you can see down the page again. You can see SBL question practice down here. I click here and I reach the page where I have the past exam question practice. And over here, you can see ACCA has published specimen and mock pre-seen informations. You have SBL specimen exam 1 pre-seen. So you can just click and start reading this pre-seen as if you're reading a real pre-seen for your September 23 exams. And the steps I've guided you about what you should be doing, you can just go down and implement them. Then there is a specimen exam 2 pre-seen as well. So that's 2 pre-seens. And then there is a mock exam pre-seen, September 23 mock exam pre-seen. So 3 pre-seens already. And then you get the 4th one, the real one for your September 23 exams. So at least if you go through reading these pre-seens, you get the temperament of what to do, how to do, the steps I've guided you, the implementation of that steps will get refined down. So from the 12th of August to the 22nd of August, at least you can do 2 pre-seens from here. Then you do the real one, and it will become more comfortable for you to apply that to a real pre-seen. Now, once you do the pre-seens here, then you can solve the real exam as well. For the specimen exam 1, you can then solve the remaining specimen exam 1 in 3 hours and 15 minutes. You can solve the specimen exam 2 in 3 hours and 15 minutes, and then the mock exam in 3 hours and 15 minutes after you have spent the time on pre-seen. So just like you do in the real exam, you will go with the reading of the pre-seen. The pre-seen will be available on 22nd. On the 6th, you have your paper. So in the when you enter the exam hall on 6th, you will have 3 hours and 15 minutes. You've already seen the pre-seen. So you will see what is exactly given by the examiner for 3 hours and 15 minutes. You will be reading the requirements, you will be reading the other exhibits and answering things out in 3 hours and 15 minutes. So you can do the same exercise in terms of the specimen 1, 2, and the mock exam. Now, if you want to see the specimen 1 and 2 exams, it is available on the practice platform. So after you've done the pre-seen, you can go to the practice platform. Let me show you the practice platform on your screen. I hope you can see that now on your screen as well. The practice platform, you go down the SBL area, you click on Strategic Business Leader, you go to the specimen exams, and in the specimen exams, you can see right over here, SPL Specimen 1 valid for September 23. So after you've seen the pre-seen, you can come down here and do the Specimen 1 exam in 3 hours and 15 minutes. Then you have the Specimen 2 valid for September 23 exams. You can do it in 3 hours and 15 minutes after you've done the pre-seen. So these are 2 good practices for you. There is a Specimen 2 and Specimen 1 for the September 23 exams after you've done the pre-seens. Mock exam. You go to the practice exams, and in the practice exams, you will see the SBL pre-September 23 mock pre-seen information. Now, ACCA has just uploaded the pre-seen information for the mock because I think this pre-seen information was published 2 to 3 days ago. So they want that 14-day stretch before they publish the mock. So just like the real exam, they've just uploaded the pre-seen currently. They want students to spend time on the pre-seen, at least 14 days, and then they will publish the mock. So probably expect the mock coming up by like the 23rd, 24th of August. And then you can do the mock September 23 mock. But in the meantime, you can do the pre-seen information of the mock. And once the mock is published, you do the mock in 3 hours and 15 minutes. So you have a specimen 1 pre-seen, and plus you can do the specimen 1 after in 3 hours and 15 minutes. You have a specimen 2 pre-seen, and then you can do the specimen 2 in 3 hours and 15 minutes. You have a September 23 mock pre-seen available, and in few days, the mock will be published. So in the meantime, you can do the pre-seen before the mock is published. And your real pre-seen will be available on 22nd of August ahead of your real September 23 exams on the 6th of September. So plenty of resource to support your confidence building around pre-seen. So if you want to take control of the pre-seen and then going down attempting the paper in 3 hours and 15 minutes, you have specimen 1, you have specimen 2, and then the mock September 23, and then your real exam. So I think 4 is very good to take control of the structure of 3 hours and 15 minutes, because up to June 23 exam, it was 4 hours. I've already done a video on my YouTube channel about changes in SBL from September 23, in which I have guided about the change of time, the number of requirements will shrink down, the number of exhibits will shrink down. So you can also watch that video in terms of the times changing, the number of requirements changing, exactly in 3 hours and 15 minutes, how would things look now and how different they would be from a 4-hour structure up to June 23. So you can also watch that video as well. So plenty of guidance on pre-seen. That's where we are concluding in. Resources by ACCA on taking control on pre-seen. Now the final thing, pre-seen debrief in the webinar to success. Now, if you are my enrolled student, whether you've taken my full course for September 23 or you have booked my webinars for September 23, you will get an advantage of a debrief session by me. I will be doing a debrief on the real pre-seen. 22nd of August, it will be released. I'll give 7 days to my student to go through it on their own. And after 7 days, I'll do my debrief. For the mock pre-seen, already the mock pre-seen has been shared among my students. You can also download it from ACCA resources. I've shown you, and I will be doing a pre-seen debrief on mock as well within the next 5 to 6 days from now. If you're not part of my regular courses and you want to be part of my webinar course and you want to be part of this live debrief sessions and you want to get a better idea of how to go down with pre-scenes, you can book my webinars to success, and I'll just be telling you how. The SBL revision webinar and mock debrief, the package you can buy now for the next few weeks ahead of your September 23 exams, will really benefit you and can really be a big difference between you passing and failing the SBL 23 exams. It includes pre-recorded videos, and I'll tell you what is included in the pre-recorded videos if you buy it. It includes live sessions, the live sessions on September 23 mock pre-seen debrief and live session on the real pre-seen, which will be available on 22nd of August, and live sessions on exam tips and techniques. Tutor resources and notes, you get access to my notes. WhatsApp group where you can ask any question to me, and you can interact with so many other students as well. Feedback on your answers, you can submit me your answers. I will give you a feedback and constructive feedback, including the mock exam you will be doing. Now, in the revision webinar and mock debriefs, when you look at the video part, the revision pack comes with the following element. It has 28 hours of videos minus the live sessions. It has an orientation video, which tells you about all the changes ACC has brought in the SBL paper from September 23. That's a 1-hour session. You have a June 23 mock, where I have done the exam drilling of the June 23 mock. That's a 4-hour session, which tells you how to attempt and how to solve requirements. The way you solve the answer is still the same, irrespective of the timelines changing from 4 hours to 3 hours and 15 minutes. The amount of reading, the way you connect the requirements with exhibits and answer the question is still the same. So you can benefit from the past papers as well. March 23 webinar for 8 hours, December 22 webinar for 10 hours. Videos of all new articles published by ACCA since September 22 exams. I think loads of videos. In total, if I remember rightly, there are 5 new videos ACCA have done, 5 new articles ACCA has published since September 22, and we've done videos on each one of them. You can get hold of that as well. Plus, you get live brainstorming on September 23 pre-seen case. You get live brainstorming on the 2023 mock debrief September, and you get a live session on exam tips and techniques. So this is all bundled up right in the revision webinar and mock debrief. You can still enroll for it, and you can increase your prospects of passing your upcoming SBL 23 exams. What will be my role as a tutor in the pre-seen if you book my webinars and mock debrief package? What I will be doing exactly with you in the live sessions. Ask the students to carefully read the pre-scenes, and I've already informed you that 22nd of August, it will be released. 7 days you will be spending on your own, and note down relevant information under each of the main syllabus areas, that is leadership, governance, strategy, risk, and so on. So break the case study into relevant areas from where case study has been built up. Try to identify the relevant syllabus areas from where the case study has come in, and I'll be doing a debrief on that. Also, link between the syllabus areas should be highlighted by the students. Example, governance and risk. This should be done by the student independently. For the first 7 days, you do it independently. Break the case study into different syllabus areas. See how many syllabus areas have gone through the case study and where is the examiner trying to emphasize on. No question spotting, right? Then the second thing I would be doing is to facilitate a group discussion where student analysis are pooled along with your own and consolidated into a comprehensive document, which then forms the basis for practice tasks from the past exams on each syllabus areas. These should be attempted in a small groups and shared for the class discussion. So once you've done your analysis, and I've done my analysis for the first 7 days, after the 7th day ending, we'll meet up, we'll pool up the analysis you have done and I have done, and it will become one comprehensive pre-seen document, which I will be sharing with my students in the WhatsApp group. Then we know which areas have been examined, like we know, okay, risk has been examined in the case study or governance has been examined in the case study. We can do plenty of good questions around those areas. Again, no question spotting, but if risk has been a very dominant area in the pre-seen, we can do 4 to 5 questions around pre-seen, or at least I can tell you try to do these questions around risk so you are better prepared of handling risk questions in exam paper. We're not saying this question can come in exam paper, but see what ACC is telling in the tutor role, that as a tutor, I need to do this with you. So I can give you a comprehensive list of questions. You can practice around the areas which have come in the pre-seen, which can again broaden your prospects of passing the real SBL exam. So my roles, right? Asking the students to read the pre-seen and be prepared for facilitating a group discussion in point number 2. Student must be reminded that the answers which they craft in the exam must be aligned to the pre-seen case study. So when you're answering a question in the exam, don't just forget the pre-seen material, right? So the pre-seen material plus the exhibits available in the real exam, they should be blended and crafted in your answer. So that's my role as a tutor. To register for the SBL webinars and pre-seen debrief, if you are interested upon the guidance I've given you, just WhatsApp me at a number +92 333 238 3442, and I'll give you all the details to pay and take admission in this webinar. I hope this session was productive in terms of knowing your role in pre-seen, my role in pre-seen, the webinar package, which can really benefit you, the resources ACC has put on pre-seen already, which you can benefit greatly and immensely. Even if you're doing a self-study and you don't want to book for these webinars, I hope this session would be facilitating you in terms of what next steps you need to follow. But if you want to be part of the tutor debrief, you want to be part of the WhatsApp group, you want to be part of that brainstorming, which I will be doing, and then telling you the types of questions you should be doing, you can still put in your you can just pick up your WhatsApp and send me a message for that. And it's at a very low, affordable fees. The fees has been kept as low as possible just to ensure the economic implications globally and not to burden you just a few days before your real exams. So your tutor Kashif Kamran signing off from this awareness session on SBL pre-seen case, the real one coming up on 22nd of August and the ones already available. I hope this session would immensely benefit you, and I'll be coming back with more sessions on guidance and tips on SBL September 23 exams. Take good care of yourself, study effectively, and plan for the 22nd August pre-seen coming your way. Goodbye, take care, and Allah Hafiz.